Hi and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. This week I'm going to talk about some of the things Jesus told his followers, and it just so happens that he used one of my favourite things to illustrate his point. Food. I do enjoy a good meal, and this week's story is about more than just a good meal. It's about a great banquet, a feast, so much food, and it probably would last for ages as well. Jesus told this story while he was at a meal that he'd been invited to. It was put on specifically for him. He was the guest of honour and the after-dinner speaker as well. As he was finishing his food, one of the guests said, "The best thing ever will be to go to the banquet in heaven." That sounds good to me. I can only imagine that a banquet in heaven will have the very best of everything and hopefully no calories either. Anyway, Jesus then told a little story about how a man once put on a great banquet and invited lots of guests. When everything was ready, he sent his servants out to bring the guests in, but one after another, the people that he'd invited started to make excuses and didn't come. One said, I've bought some land and I want to go and look at it. Another said, I've bought some cows, I want to go and see them. And yet another said, I'm getting married, I can't come. When the man heard about all this, he was very angry with all the people he'd invited because nobody came. So he told his servant to go out and do something different. Go and bring in everyone he could find in the streets, people who were never invited to things, the people who were unloved and discarded by society. Go, bring them in and let them enjoy this amazing feast. It would be different, but it would be amazing and joyful. There's several different suggestions for how this story can be interpreted. To be honest, what I find is those interpretations tend to change depending on the point that people want to make. Often it can be used against one group of people or another. But instead of any of those, I want to give you something different to think about. I want you to think about commitment. If you're invited to something and accept the invitation, do you go through with it or do you pull out later? Because I think we've all been in situations where people have let us down. We thought people were coming, but they didn't turn up. Maybe sometimes we've been asked to do something, but then a better offer comes along and we decide to do that instead. Christian faith is a big thing. It's about changing your life from now until forever, literally. Commitment is not always easy for people. It can be difficult to get your head around, even for small things, let alone something that lasts forever. Jesus came and he changed the world for that long, forever, and now invites us to be a part of that changed world. If you want to talk more about that, do get in touch. But this week, why don't you think about what the things are that you commit to? Because I think it's good to be known as someone who sticks to the things they've said they'll do, regardless of what else comes along. I hope you have a great week. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.